Welcome to this tutorial for setting up Divinity II Developer's Cut on Linux. I personally am running Solus Linux 4.3, currently with the Mate version. I'll go ahead and bring up my system specs for you so you can kind of see what I'm working with. So, neo fetch. So there you go. Also running a 5.15 kernel, so not the most up to date as far as April 8th is concerned, but pretty decent. And one of the main reasons why I didn't play Divinity 2 on Linux, well, I'll get into that and just show you all why I didn't play it. But I will say that one of the nice things about Linux is you can use Anti-MicroX, and even on Solus, they have Anti-MicroX packaged up for the operating system. So as you see, I have here my game controller settings that I loaded up that I was using under Windows. So that will work under Linux as well. So once again, I want to just go ahead and reiterate that this program right here it's perfect for not only Divinity 2, but a lot of older games. So I think I'll probably be using Anti-MicroX quite a bit in the future. Side bar done now. Let's get into how I have installed Divinity 2 on Linux. Now, for me, the best way I found to do it is via Lutris. Now, you might be able to do it through Steam via Proton and whatnot, or even just standard Wine. And I have got working under Wine as well. But I feel that Lutris is probably the easier way, at least for me, because I purchased it off of GOG. And so from purchasing off GOG, you can link your account here and then just basically download it there. So I installed this thing pretty much every way I could possibly think to install it. And it did work. It worked pretty well every single time, with one small exception. It will not play any of the cutscene videos. So if you want to, say, load this game up, you've already played it, and you've seen all the cutscenes, and you know what's going to happen as far as I should say, not the in-game cutscenes, but the actual movies that play, because the movies are put into a Windows movie format. I think MPA, if I'm not mistaken. We'll look that up here in a second. So it doesn't work if you try to. Well, I'll show you what happens basically. But anyway, in Lutris, all you got to do is go to the game and click install. Okay, just ignore that. Bit of a snafu there. It actually hid the window behind my Lutris window. But anyway, that's fine. Just click on here, GOG with DXVK, which I believe is Vulkan. And I'm just going to leave the default settings for now. And just go ahead and hit install. Go ahead and skip all these things because these are all the extra components you can download from the website. But if you really want to do that, I would just go to GOG's website and download them that way anyway. All right, so you can download it from GOG, which would take quite a while because it's not a huge game, but it's pretty big. So instead of doing that, we just hit the executable for the first one because I've downloaded it locally. Do that, even though probably still going to cache it no matter what. The .1 or -1, I should say. And the -2. Like I said, pretty decent size. It's like you can see there, about a little less than 6.5 gigs. But especially if you experimented with it as much as I did trying to get it to work, it made a lot more sense just to download it. And so let's get this, let this thing get up and running here in a second. Should have a pop-up window. There we go. All right, so basically at this point, all you got to do is hit OK. Yes, you've read the license, and it will install. So while it does that, I'll just go ahead and say one quick thing before I cut to the end here, the end of the install, I should say. Like I said, I tried many different ways of getting this game to work properly with the videos. I tried setting up a 32-bit wine environment and emulating Windows XP basically, and installing the Media Player 9 extension under Winetricks. Even that didn't work. So, like I said, I tried lots of different combinations, everything, couldn't get that to work. So if you're okay with playing this without the cutscenes in the game, then basically I would just leave it on the default settings here, which is, I think it's a Windows 10 environment. We can change that to Windows 7, make it a little more accurate to when this game came out. And that's what I'll show next when this gets done installing. Is one of the main reasons I like to use Lutris to install it, besides the fact that it doesn't put a bunch of icons on my desktop when you do it via Wine, is that it also allows you to pull up the wine tricks for that specific video game container, if you will, and you can do a lot of the wine tricks things that are not only nice but necessary to get this game to work properly. So when we get back, when this is done installing, I will bring up the wine tricks portion of configuring this game. So see you in a second. All right, we're nearly done with the loading of the game now, or the installation of the game. And this window here is a pretty big indicator of what we're going to need to get the game working properly under Wine, because just the default Wine settings will not work. So hit I accept. Next. All right, so now we got PhysX installed, and it's going to install a couple of other things in the background. And while it does that, you can watch this run as well. Took a little bit of extra, not a lot of extra time, but a little bit extra to get that DirectX 9.0C installed. So I'm going to go ahead and hit exit here. And this installation window continues to run in the background. It's not quite done. One of the benefits of using Lutris over, say, standard Wine is it gives you the option to create a desktop shortcut or a menu shortcut. Whereas when I installed this under standard Wine, it did it automatically whether I wanted it to or not. But I'm not going to do that, so I'll just hit close. All right, so now we've got our game installed here. And well, let me first, we're going to go into the Wine configuration. And the only thing I want to do here is change this from Windows 10 to Windows 7. Hit apply. Okay, yeah, I forgot. Go down here to Wine. If we hit this wheel for configure, this shows you what Lutris version I'm running currently. It's running the Lutris FShack 7.2. So I'm not going to go in here and do too many changes. In fact, I'm not going to do any changes here. So just hit cancel. If we go ahead and hit this now and try to play the game, you'll see it'll try to run, get a black screen, and then it'll die on us. And there it goes. The stop went away eventually, and the play button's back. So it won't launch right out of the gate. And this would be the same even if you tried doing it with a Proton, most likely, and or standard Wine. So now, to get this working, and the other benefit of doing this in Lutris is you can just click here and go to Wine Tricks. Now pop up the Wine Tricks menu. And it's just for this container for this video game. So any Wine Tricks things you do here will not mess with your system-wide wine settings, which is very nice. Just hit OK. Now, one thing, like I said, I played a lot with these components, and there's a lot of them. So just go ahead and hit OK for the components. I've installed just about every combination that I could think of to get this working, get the videos working, excuse me. Because getting the game working is not that difficult. In fact, I tried setting this up with the video earlier, and I'm doing this again now because it's very, very easy to try and break your game if you try to get those videos working. So I believe the best course of action is to just basically ignore trying to get the videos working, because you have a better chance of breaking things, and it doesn't even work even if you get it modestly working. So instead of trying to do anything with the Windows Media Player, all we're going to do is install D3DX 936. Yep, that's correct. Just had to double check that. And we're going to skip down here. Perhaps the most important one, the one I think will get the game actually running, is PhysX, and then Quartz. We're just going to install just those three components. Now, if the current version of Wine was working with the movies, theoretically, you could go down here and get the Windows Media Player 11, install that, and it should theoretically work. The problem is, if this Windows Media Player gets clogged up or whatnot, your entire Wine prefix could get completely and totally borked, so that you can't even bring up the Wine Tricks menu anymore, or the Wine configuration. So at this point, like I said, videos just do not work in the game. So it's probably a better idea not even try and force the issue. And since I didn't force the issue and didn't try to install Windows Media Player 11, you see how fast the Wine Tricks menu came back online. So that's really good. Hit cancel to get out. All right, so now we're in the game. I've got my Anti-Micro X running in the background. Hit play. And we're in the game. Ah, shoot, it's on developer mode. But that's fine. We're just doing this as a method to show how things work. So anyway, I'll just click on New Game here. And this is the screen you'll get when it tries to play a movie and it doesn't work. So you just hit Escape. I'm just going to keep the default settings because it's not like I'm going to play through this game all over again, since I've got a lot of time in this game. Alright, so another video tries to play. So just hit Escape.
Here we are. Farglow. The place where
And so now we're in the game. And let's see, what's the fastest way to get out of this?
They are quite simple. That may sound a bit vague, but don't worry. You'll have to see
Oh,
yourself. This is
I saw it there. See you later, Commander. Bye. And so there you have it. We are loaded up into the game. You can kill all the bunny rabbits you want. So that's what this game is all about, killing bunny rabbits. And yeah, under Linux, it looks just as good as it runs under Windows. And keep in mind, I am running NVIDIA hardware. So if you're running AMD, or say like the Steam Deck coming out, I think you'd have probably an even easier time playing through this game. Here, you rabbits.
The disciple arrives.
Hey, I'm trying to kill rabbits here.
A fond welcome to Farglow, and I commend you. Such a belittling. But don't you worry. You earn the title of Couldn't have put it better myself. In fact, I have.
Here's a good day. Get out of my screen. I'm killing rabbits. Oh, they got away. You son of a gun. The rabbits got away. No, they didn't.
I bet that hurt.
There we go. All right, so that's pretty much a quick cursory glance as to how to get the game up and running. And just because, I'm going to go ahead and do a save. Oh, and let me show you this real quick. So another example of videos not working. Normally, they would play here in the bottom left-hand corner, just to show you what the actual skills do. And, well, it's obviously not running. But that's just a minor thing, because you don't really... I mean, I never even looked at those videos when I was playing the game. So we'll go ahead and exit out to Windows. But I will show you where you can find those videos if you do want to watch them on your own. You can just go into your home folder. In this case, I have a folder called Games and GOG. There you go. Divinity 2, Drive C, GOG, Divinity 2 again, and then Data, and then all the videos are here. So let's not try to do that with Windows Media Player. Let's run it with VLC. So there you go. It's not a matter of do you not have the codecs on your system to load it. It's a matter of that Wine itself has an issue with playing the videos. And so the workaround that they've tried to do in the past that worked was installing Windows Media Player via Winetricks. But like I said, I literally broke my game here on Linux trying to get that working just prior to doing this video. So I would suggest don't even try even getting any of the Windows Media Player. Like, since this is running a Windows 7 environment, it'd be Windows Media Player 11. I wouldn't even bother trying to do that. So here's all the skills, videos. Like if I wanted to watch the bleed one, that's what you would normally see in the bottom left-hand corner of the skills screen. But any other video that you want to watch, the story ones, they're all located here. So, I mean, technically, if you wanted to ruin the story for yourself, you could just go into the video directory and go straight to the end scene and completely spoil everything for yourself. But other than that, everything is pretty much here. And that's the only thing that doesn't work. I don't know how stable the game is under Linux as compared to Windows. My assumption at this point is it's probably pretty stable, and I might do a little bit of a playthrough of it just to kind of, not a playthrough, I mean, I might play just a little bit of it just to give the Wine team some feedback, and or Lutris. I don't think Lutris has bug reports or anything, but I could give a little bit of a update that it's still not working with movies, and it hasn't worked with movies according to Wine HQ for a pretty long time. I'm not sure if when they'll get it working, if ever. But yeah, trying to install Windows Media Player 11, you could just break your entire Wine setup. So it's definitely not even worth it, because even still, chances are it's not going to work. And so that's pretty much it. Well, anyway, thank you very much for watching this video, and I hope it was actually useful to you if you are planning on playing Divinity 2 under Linux. Like I said, it'd be very good for a second or third playthrough, or how many times you want to play the game, because there are a lot of different ways of playing it. But if you've never played the game before and you don't know the storyline, like I didn't, unfortunately, I can't really recommend playing Divinity 2 under Linux at this point in time. But it is worth playing under Linux with a subsequent playthrough. Once again, thank you. I'll see you all in the next video. Take care.